Greetings family, peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru and thanks for visiting my channel. This video is about a suspect who claims he killed two of his roommates for disrespecting his Muslim faith. That's right, this white male, who we can all consider a terrorist, killed two of his roommates, as I said, because he claimed that they disrespected his faith. Now let's go to the story. So family, a Florida man who once had common neo-Nazi beliefs with his two roommates decided he'd kill them after he converted to Islam, claiming they had disrespected his faith, police say. Devon authors 18, pictured here, white male of Tampa, told police he shot Jeremy Himmelman, 22, and Andrew Wanschuk, 18, on Friday at the Hamptons at Tampa Palms Complex after becoming upset about widespread anti-Muslim sentiment, saying, quote, he wanted to bring attention to the cause. Devon authors. So authors then briefly held an employee and customers hostage at the nearby Green Planet smoke shop where he boasted that he had just killed his roommates, quote, blasting their heads with a semi-automatic pistol. Authors then says, do me a favor and get the fuck on the floor, Authors yelled as he stormed into the store. Why shouldn't I kill you? He said he was upset that America was bombing Muslim countries, Tampa Bay Police Detective Kenneth Nightslinger wrote in a police report. Authors eventually freed his hostages and surrendered, making references to Allah Muhammad as cops took him to a patrol cruiser. You know they handled him with kid gloves though, because after all, he's a white male. Look at him. He's ghostly white. Anyways, he says, I had to do it, authors said. According to the report, this wouldn't have had to happen if your country didn't bomb my country, he says. When asked if anyone else was hurt, authors replied, quote, the people in the apartment, but they're not hurt, they're dead. Well, inside the Amberley Drive apartment, Himmelman and Wanschuk were found shot in the head and upper body, according to the police. Standing just outside the unit was another of Author's roommates, Brandon Russell, who was wearing U.S. Army camouflage after returning to the apartment from the National Guard. Investigators searched the apartment's garage and found an explosive known as HMTD, hexamethylene triperoxide diamine, according to a criminal complaint filed in U.S. District Court. Okay, so once again, and I'm going to say this is a terrorist. He is a white terrorist, and he should be charged accordingly when they are finding explosives in their apartment garage. These are terrorists. Even the roommates should be arrested. The roommate that lived, yeah, this guy Russell, Brandon Russell, he too should be arrested. More than a pound of ammonia nitrate was also found in a package addressed to Russell, an admitted neo-Nazi whose bedroom was adorned with a framed photograph of Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, who was convicted and executed for bombing the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City in 1995. So let's just get this right. Brandon Russell, the roommate who shows up late and he's still alive, his bedroom is adorned with a framed photograph of Timothy McVeigh. So he looked up to Timothy McVeigh, you know, the other white terrorist. There's a lot of white terrorists we're finding out. So when they say, you know, who we should be fearing and whatnot, now I understand why a lot of people say they fear the white man because he's a terrorist within our own country. And so the FBI should have these white males at the top of their list. They really should. But we know that they don't, but they really should. This white man right here, this white boy right here is a terrorist. He should have been on their list, but I bet you he wasn't. And you know what? Again, I'm going to say it again. This is exactly what you guys get. This is karma, this is karma like a motherfucker. It's karma. The chickens are coming home to roost. That's a well-fitted statement to say right now. The chickens are coming home to roost. Exactly. Anyways, Brandon Russell, the roommate, he's admitted to being a member of a white supremacy group called the Atomwaffen. That's Atomwaffen. I've never heard of that name, but I'm glad that they exposed this white supremacy group. Well, investigators also found an empty bullet casings with fuses that could be used to detonate the explosive material. Russell was stopped by deputies on Sunday while driving south on U.S. Highway 1, but authorities did not indicate why he was pulled over, the Miami Herald reports. Well, he was pulled over because they suspect him to being a white terrorist also, I'm assuming. Anyways, authors told investigators that all four men shared neo-Nazi beliefs prior to his conversion to Islam. So, this white boy here had a epiphany, I guess, or some kind of other awakening where he converted to Islam. Interesting. Anyways, authors stated that for some time before the murders, he had been privy to Russell participating in online neo-Nazi internet chat rooms where he threatened to kill people and bomb infrastructure, according to the complaint. Now, I'm going to say this again. Brandon Russell, the other roommate, they didn't arrest him because you just heard me say that he was pulled over on a freeway. Now, you tell me what kind of privilege is it that he got away with not being arrested the same day they arrested this terrorist here. You tell me why it is that they allowed that other roommate to go. Well, probably because he's white too. And here it is, we're finding out that he's been threatening to kill people and bomb infrastructures in online chat rooms, and the police let him go. Anyways, it goes on to say that authors who remains jailed without bail is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 3 counts of armed kidnapping. Where is the terrorism charge? He's a terrorist. They should be charging him with that too. But see, they give these little white boys a slap on the wrist. That's what happens. Himmelman and Wanschuk had recently moved to Florida from Massachusetts for a change of pace before being invited to live with authors, Himmelman's sister said on Sunday. Well, I gotta tell you, the sister has come behind. Lisa Himmelman told the Tampa Bay Times her brother and Wanschuk had been friends for about a year, with both men aspiring to enlist in the military. She said she didn't know authors that well, aside from his having extreme views that caused issues in the apartment. They knew something was off with authors about a week after moving in with him, Lisa Himmelman told the newspaper. Both men were slated to move out on Monday, just 3 days after they were found dead. Well, they had lived with him for about a year. They had plenty of time to move out. I find it real suspicious and not even entirely true when the sister says that they were going to move out 3 days before they were found dead, when in fact they had been living with him for almost a year already. So that just seems like some kind of cover up or cleanup of the spilled milk kind of thing. But anyways, this man right here, authors, he's a white terrorist. He is a white terrorist. Besides being a racist, he's a white terrorist. Why they don't charge him as such, I don't know. But at least they charge him with murder, because he is a murderer as well. I'm going to end this video off here. White people, all I can say to you is you got a lot of work to do in your own communities. Instead of focusing on other people, I think you really should be looking in your own backyards and talk to your own kids about their racism, about their hatred. You know, what you parents taught them. There's an idea. Anyways, this is Guru. Thanks for watching. Peace and love to yours. And until the next video, don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.